Previously on St. Elsewhere.
Do you know what it's like going through life knowing that you're not well liked? I hate it. Maybe those idiots over at Boston General left something in the wound. Every time I use the hand, the nerve is irritated, causing the pain. But there's got to be some possibility of freeing the nerve.
I'm sorry.
Whenever you've been faced with defeat, you've risen above the pain. You've gotten stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I changed my mind.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to join John Steinbeck Morrison and Joanne McFadden in lawful matrimony.
Clear. Well, let's go again after 2 amps bicarb.
We just gave her bicarb.
Just 10 minutes ago.
She's not getting adequate coronary circulation.
Okay, doctors, what's it gonna be?
You want to lead, you call a dance.
1 amp epi on a cardiac needle and get another set of blood gases.
Going straight in the heart, you're risking a pneumothorax.
Either that or we lose her. You got a better idea?
It's comatose and critical. All I want to know is what keeps Mrs. Hoig humming. Her body doesn't have the good sense to stop.
How many times did she code last night?
Half a dozen. Every hour on the hour since midnight.
My watch should be that dependable.
Give it a shot.
Hands off. Again.
300 watts.
Clear. Once more. Up on the bus, lady.
Ready.
Clear.
Normal sinus rhythm.
Let's get her vitals.
Morning, Mrs. Hoig. Gonna be a scorcher.
Sounds like a great wedding.
Yeah. Well, but small. Registry room, City Hall. Couldn't invite more than one other person.
Hey, Jack, Wayne was the best man to be the best man.
Wait till you meet Joanne. You are coming to the party, right?
Wouldn't miss the festivities for the world.
The kids were exhausted when we picked them up in Logan last night. We just tucked them in bed, watched them sleep.
Married life agrees with you, huh, Boomer?
Boy, I'd forgotten now. These last 4 days with Joanne, well, I'm finally settling down, getting my life normal again.
Hello. Isn't it a gorgeous day?
Well, let's go to the beach.
Life's a beach.
I got it. Yeah, on call. Yeah, he's here. Biscuits.
This isn't for me.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh. Hello. Oh. no, I'm... Okay. I'll be right down. They're here. Joanne and the kids. I assume they weren't coming to the party.
Jack, never assume. Makes an ass of you and me.
I got rounds. What am I going to do?
Look, give him the 25-cent tour to hospital. We'll cover it for you.
Right. Good idea. Thanks. Help me, guys. Please, help me.
Brown bagging it today, Elliot?
For your information, Wayne asked me to pick up this food.
I thought it'd be a nice way for the boomers to kick off their marriage. Besides, if you had been at the ceremony, you would have seen. I mean, something special happened when they took those vows.
Yeah, Jack strung a complete sentence. I do.
Are you feeling okay, Jackie?
Fine, just having some yucks, guys.
Sure, well, I'll see you in the ER.
Not if I see you first. Not if I see you first. Elliot, would you get out of here? I have got to change.
Gee, I just got to get my lamp cut, all right? Are you sure you're feeling okay?
Fine. It's just that yesterday Mr. Driscoll had a seizure. Last night, a 7-year-old girl died in my arms, and this morning, Robert told me he wants a divorce.
Well, have a nice day.
Yeah.
I thought you said this hot weather was going to ease up. Heard the forecast while driving in. There's a low-pressure system coming down from Canada. We should have thunder showers by this evening. Try keeping your radio tuned to WEEI 590, all news I do. Love the news. It's what the electronic media does best. The Falkland invasion, the attempted assassination of Pope John Paul. I feel as though I'm right there.
Daniel, will you tell Catherine that the Women's Auxiliary should hold their annual functions someplace else?
What's wrong with Bartley House?
This, a bill for a $200 suite. The night of the Doctor of the Year award banquet, some skirt-chasing philanderer signed my name. Do you know something about this?
No, I sure don't. I'd advise you to pay this the next time to tear up the carbons.
Good idea.
Mark, I've received the results of Mr. Lucas's CT scan. His abscess is not resolving.
Way ahead of you, Daniel. 3 hours or so, I'll be performing a lung resection.
A bit soon for you to be operating, isn't it, Mark?
Tell him, Daniel.
Dr. Sweeney says the sensory branch of the radial nerve is impinged with scar tissue. And while Mark is in extreme discomfort, there has been a partial return of mobility.
It's a routine surgery.
What are you taking for the pain?
Nothing. And I can't be doped up when I'm operating. Daniel, I know this is called drip dry, but, spend $1. Send it to the cleaners and lose this wrinkle.
Mark, there's no reason for you to go back to work before your hand's completely healed. It's not a boxing competition, is it?
Boy, Donald, you really take the cake. Do you actually think that I would rush willy-nilly into surgery if I couldn't handle it? I was in a good mood this morning. I don't know why I let you do this to me.
Blue with Mrs. Holder.
She's not ready to swim Lake Michigan, but she's alive. What are you doing?
I always order a breakfast for a patient I know can't eat. You hungry?
Cherry Danish.
Mrs. Hovick, a chronic COPD with severe pneumonia on top of end-stage emphysema, anoxic brain damage, a duodenal ulcer. Since she was dumped here yesterday, we've had to jumpstart her 8 times. We should have let her die.
Obviously, playing lacrosse at Johns Hopkins developed her killer instinct. This food's not worth stealing.
How much longer can we keep Mrs. Hovick circling the drain? A day, maybe 2 tops. She's been around since McKinley was president.
Then even he died better, right?
She's got no family. She's got no future. I want us to let her go the next time she codes.
That's what you want? Talk to an attending.
Well, I'll have to sit through the whole movie. Ethics Review Board, miles of paperwork.
Then run it by Chandler.
I will. But we've been here 3 days. That might not seem like a long time, but Chandler's going to wonder why we're not making these decisions ourselves.
Okay. I'm with you. Let Rosenthal know, too. Look after swing by admissions. Get there early to pick up the good cases.
Smart. I already grabbed the ruptured appy and the ventral hernia. While you're down there, lose this for me. Okay, thanks.
I was there in '64 when he sent Liston to the campus.
Mr. Eberback?
In those days, it was Cassius Clay, Mr. Cassius Clay. There was none of this Muhammad Ali Baba business, you know what I'm saying?
Cliff Eberback?
It's Eberback, yeah, right here.
It says here that you're having trouble managing your diabetes.
Well, do we have to tell the whole world?
Okay, right this way. Cubicle 1.
Like I'm supposed to know which is cubicle what?
Right here.
Every summer I say to myself, I'm gonna read War and Peace. So yesterday, I'm on my sailboat at Union Wharf. I finally crack open a brand new Signet Classic Edition. Next thing I know, I wake up, hours have passed. I'm starting to look like a boiled Maine lobster.
All that's missing is the drawn butter. Do you sit out in the sun a lot?
Oh, I will. Just bought a 30-foot Olsen. It's beautiful.
You really should be careful, Mr. Bill. I rode in the bike-a-thon across New England when I was 18. By the time I finished, I looked 80.
You have a nice touch. It hurts so good.
My advice is to stay out of the sun.
Spend all my time on the high seas down below with the bilge pump.
Well,
Of course, it would be a lot safer if I had medical assistance on board. Would you like to join me?
I'll give you some of this cream to take along.
Oh, with your touch, you'd be great at splicing the main brace.
You're very nice, Mr. Bill.
Mel. She's married. I'm sorry, I didn't see a ring.
I know I'm married. I know what it means to take a vow, make a promise. So butt out, Wayne.
Jackie.
Could you give me a hand here?
Joanne.
Jack was showing us physical therapy. Christopher fell off the wheelchair ramp and hurt his arm. My brother is such a dork.
I heard you call me a dork, you dork.
Come on. True, you are a dork.
I know you are, but what am I?
A dork.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're a baby.
Caitlin. Shut up. Why you wear that stupid dress?
You were stupid.
Enough of that.
You falling off a
You
wheelchair
really
ramp.
didn't know that. Shut up.
Everybody,
shut up.
I hate you more.
That was ridiculous. Now hold still.
Thanks for the assist this morning.
Been what these sons
Yeah. Yes, I'm not so good at it either.
That's okay. Whew, it's about 80 degrees in here already. Do you want some iced tea?
No, thanks. I just stopped by to glance over Mrs. Hovig's chart.
She got her meds. Clindamycin, 70 milligrams, chloramphenicol, 300 milligrams.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter how many antibiotics we pump into her. She's not responding. She still feels a pain when we stick her with needles or jump on her chest.
Do you have an easy way of keeping her alive?
No, but it's torture. When I was in med school, we talk about the quality of life, and now that I'm actually confronted by it, am I keeping this woman alive for the sake of heroics?
You know, after all my years as a nurse, I told my kids, if I get terminally ill, I don't want anyone using artificial means to keep me alive.
You're absolutely right.
But after my brush with cancer, I've changed my mind. I'm going out kicking and screaming.
But only if there's a chance the pain is going to end. Mrs. Hovig will never get better. We have to let her die in peace. The next time she arrests, take your time responding.
Dr. Griffin, If you're asking me to no-code this patient, you're going to have to speak with an attending.
Well, I've been looking all over for Dr. Swales, and I can't find him. If I get Dr. Chandler's okay, is that enough?
Certainly. In the meantime, while you're waiting for Dr. Swales to turn up, why don't you start with the paperwork?
Thanks for your help. I mean it.
Oh, boy. First-year residents, so polite. If only it could last.
How do you like Mr. Aberback, 3147?
Oh, in for diabetic evaluation of spleen then. Oh, yeah, he's a real charmer. Nothing like Mrs. Blatcher in 3254, however.
Elliot, how's orthopedics rotation going?
Lousy. Took me 20 minutes to dig up this bozo's x-rays.
John McEnroe, the tennis player?
I'm not sure, but come to think of it, he was pretty abusive over the phone. Supposed to come by here later.
Well, we better serve these up.
Be quiet, don't yell, please. Keep up here trying to rest, okay? Philip Chandler, I'd like to meet, this is Caitlin McFadden, Christopher McFadden, and this is my wife, Joanne. And this guy you already know.
Yeah, congratulations. You got quite a guy here.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about Jack's friends. It's nice to finally put faces with names.
Dr. Craig, I'd like you to meet my family.
This is Rounds, Morrison. Not a ticker-tape parade.
Boomer's new woof, huh? Heard the odometer's been turned back.
Is that your porcine way of saying she's divorced? So what?
Hey, personally, I would have gone after the daughter.
Ehrlich, shut up. But first, present the next case.
Mr. Lucas, 67, admitted 5 days ago after an abscess was located in the right middle lobe of his lung. Scheduled surgery for later this afternoon. Dr. Waite and I will assist.
Fabulous. Now shut up. Morgen, Herr Lucas.
Hoffentlich, Herr Doktor. Hoffentlich.
Wie geht's es Ihnen heute?
Beethoven ist krank. Einstein hat Kopfschmerzen und mir geht's auch schlecht.
Herr Lucas, would you translate for the others?
Oh, the doctor asks me how am I doing, and I said, Beethoven is sick, yes. Einstein has a headache, and I don't feel so good either.
Suppose this guy at the party with those madcaps, the Wald Huns?
I've always loved a joke that doesn't break down in translation, Herr Lucas, and it's inspiring to see that you haven't lost your sense of humor.
Ich verstehe kein Wort. I don't understand.
Oh, well, I guess most patients would have done a Belgian waffle after hearing this is Dr. Craig's first operation since cutting his hand. What?
Hey, doctor, you told me nothing about the hand.
Alles gut,
English, please.
Maybe I can explain.
You've done enough.
Yeah, well...
Herr Lucas, there's no reason for concern. I'm the most qualified surgeon to do this job. I give you my word. See you upstairs. Let's move on.
Oh, Dr. Craig, I'm
For
sorry.
heaven's sakes, Morrison, scram.
Blueprints of an athlete. And yet what really makes John McEnroe so phenomenal can't be photographed.
How do you know these x-rays are really his?
Is there any question? The only thing that's missing is the headband. He probably got that hairline fracture during a Mac attack. The U.S. Open, Wimbledon, Davis Cup, he won them all.
Why would one of the world's greatest tennis players come here to St. Eligius, huh?
Stranger things have happened. Like, remember the time Elizabeth Taylor was rushed here after collapsing on stage?
No.
Well, then you have a good memory, because it didn't happen, but it could have. My hand's about the same size.
This is ridiculous. I mean, these x-rays belong to some plain, ordinary guy named John McEnroe.
Then you won't mind if I'm the one that gives them to whoever shows up.
Be my guest.
All right. I'll get you an autograph.
Hey, are you sure that those are the real things?
You positive they're not McEnroe's negatives?
Well, look, I found it. I'll get you the autograph.
How long's she been in arrest?
A minute and a half at the most. I waited for you to get here.
Ventricular tachycardia. Heart rate's 120.
I'll call the code.
There's no code, remember. Right pupil's pinpoint unresponsive. Left pupil's totally blown.
I didn't see Dr. Swell's approval on the chart.
BP's 40 and falling.
Dr. Griffin,
We had an agreement we wouldn't put this woman through any more unnecessary pain.
I'm getting the crash cart.
Didn't you square this away?
I've heard of patients staying in VTAC 5 minutes. Sometimes longer.
Doing your best to hang on. God, I wish this were over.
Give up the ghost, Mrs. Holvick.
Should we have called a priest?
Rabbi.
I mean, now in Many Falls, Wisconsin, we only had Lutherans. What about you?
Non-denom. Most of us in Westport never bought the program.
Ah, Connecticut.
Used to be lots of artists living down there. Now it's just movie stars peddling salad dressing.
BP's 15.
You're gonna haunt me, aren't you, Mrs. Hovick?
B-fib.
That's the pup.
Why are you just standing there? Hasn't anybody called the code?
I thought you got his okay.
What are you talking about? This is a full arrest. Lidocaine 100 milligrams IV. Let's move it. Come on. D-fib, 300 watts.
A little slow on the uptake, Helen.
300 watts ready.
Clear?
Comfortable, Herr Lucas?
Ausgezeichnet.
No misgivings about my operating?
Your word is your deed. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Dankeschön.
Dr. Craig, about what I said earlier.
You've landed yourself back on the dark side of my moon. Now get gloved and gowned and don't touch anything. The moron Ehrlich really whittles my stick. For 2 years, I work side by side with him, and not a smudge of common sense rubs off.
He's so happy in his own world. Sometimes I wish I were more like Victor.
Oh, bite your tongue, Wade. Never thought I'd see the day when I depended more on a female surgical resident than anyone else.
Well, that's just typical. You're riding along, everything's smooth. Then you hit a bump in your personal life and it really throws you. But I'm like you, sir. I don't let that affect my performance as a surgeon. Once we walk through that door, there's nothing on our minds but the patient. Right, Dr. Craig?
Huh? Yeah, Wade.
Charting time and death. Dr. Griffin will come by later and fill out the rest. Close the door on the way out. Not that a faster response would have made any difference, but why did it take so long to get the code started?
Yeah. Explain, Seth.
Well, Dr. Birch and I arrived about a minute into the arrest. And, Signals must have gotten mixed up with Rosenthal. Look, we're new. That's no excuse, but I was just telling Susan earlier how I have to start taking charge, and we're responsible for these patients now.
This won't happen again, Dr. Chandler.
Well, make sure you sign a death certificate. And don't forget to turn it in.
You really are a piece of work. Take a moral stand and then chuck it when things get hot.
You have every reason to hate my guts.
I'm not talking about Mrs. Hovick. As far as I'm concerned, she's out of her misery. But you said you were going to follow procedure. You lied to me.
I didn't get a chance to clear the no code, and I panicked.
Well, next time you decide to screw up, don't suck me into it.
Although a simple procedure, this operation requires the surgeons to move quickly.
Like the Von Trapp family fleeing from the Nazis.
You really are a Clumperton.
A what?
Clumperton. My feelings exactly. For Pete's sake, so deaf as a high school girl in the backseat of a car. Removing less than a sixth of the lump. However, the abscess cannot be allowed to burst. Otherwise, Ehrlich, what happens?
The other lobe's filled with abscess fluid, sir.
Correct. Now that we're all on our toes, blade.
I'll dip those bleeders, sir. Cautery.
How do things get so out of control?
Hard to say where Mr. Lucas took a turn for the worst. Lips, brother?
Robert said it didn't just happen overnight.
Of course not. There are many contributing factors to his condition. Age, nutrition, general physical health.
Besides, what does Robert know? He's not a doctor.
But he's my husband. We have to sit down and talk.
Wade, are you with me or not? Sober up.
Now, who's a Clumperton?
From now on, let's pretend we all went to the Marcel Marceau Medical School, You just can't help yourself, can you?
Hey, slow down. Chris, you want Dr. Westfall to sign your cast?
Sure. I wish my friends back in Seattle could sign it.
Now, wait a minute, son. Give Boston a chance. It's a great town. I grew up here.
Last year, my teacher read to us about the Boston Tea Party. Tomorrow, Jeff's going to take us where it happened.
Yeah, we're going to buy Chris one of those tricorns.
Yeah, those are kind of hats with 3 points. When I go back to school next year, I'm going to show Mrs. Gertz and all my friends.
Well, you remember we talked about you're going to go another school here next fall.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Do your schools have playgrounds?
Yeah, it's like back in Seattle.
My real dad won't be dropping me off every day.
Hey, Pete, come here, come back here.
You can actually tell that these are John McEnroe's x-rays?
Of course, I'm a doctor.
What an experience that would be, getting out there and whacking it with Mac.
I could introduce you when he arrives.
No, thank you, but I think not. We must respect Mr. McEnroe's privacy. Yes, we would that of any other patient. But when you talk to him, see if you can find out how he hits that topspin backhand.
Yes, sir.
Joanne, would you like to dance?
I thought you'd never ask.
Would you watch him? He's a real devil.
You miss Seattle?
Nah. I mean, how many times can you ride up and down on the Space Needle with Digger?
Your dog?
No, a hunk. But he's nothing compared to the guys on the East Coast.
They're much more sophisticated.
Yeah, well, the people back here have a lot more culture and tradition.
And I bet they know a lot more about sex.
Pete!
Who admitted this patient?
Dr. Fiskus, blood pressure's 150 over 100, pulse 140 regular.
Mr. Eberbeck checks in for a diabetic evaluation. The next thing is having some kind of seizure.
His last insulin shot was late this afternoon. Could this be hypoglycemia?
Maybe. My guess is heart. He's tachycardic and diaphoretic. His chart said he has a history of angina.
He started acting peculiar about 20 minutes ago. Thought he was sitting in his car at the Amico station.
Mr. Eberbeck, are you having any chest pain?
Fill it up, unleaded. Check under the hood.
Are you having any pain here?
I feel something pushing. Do you think that I'm going to have my wheels aligned? I don't think. I think just.
What was that? What did you do?
50 cc's D50 IV.
Well, how do you know it's not a mild MI? You heard what he said. He's having chest pain.
All Mr. Eberbuck said was something was pushing on his chest. You.
Well, let's get an angio. I don't want to take any chances here.
Wait a minute. Blood pressure's back down to normal. 120 over 70.
Oh. Cold.
Sir, how are you feeling?
Hungry. About time. Somebody click on the tube, huh?
I looked at the X-ray. Everything's normal.
Big blood samples here. What just happened in there?
I looked around the room, noticed his dinner was late. That, in addition to his delirium and vital signs, indicated to me that his blood sugar had dropped too low.
So he went in the shot.
Right.
Thanks. You know, I appreciate it.
Lose the manners.
Excuse me?
You tried sandbagging me today in Mrs. Hovick's room. Let me assure you that only happens once. And one other thing. Doctors know about medicine. Nurses know about patients and how hospitals are run. Cross me again and you'll get exactly what you asked for. And believe me, you're not going to like that.
Jack and I grew up together, neighbors. We were always friends, but never romantic. Across the street there was an apple orchard, and we used to go there and sit in this one tree, pick apples and complain about family and school. Do you know David?
Jack's brother, policeman.
Yeah, well, he picked us up when Jack was home last month. I was working as a paralegal, and David knew I was divorced. Jack and I went on a couple of times, and then he brought me back to the apple orchard. Well, no, actually now it is Rolling Hills condominiums.
Sure.
But we stood in the lobby right next to where our tree used to be, and he proposed. And I said no.
How come?
I suppose failure of my first marriage and success of his. Dr. Westphal, I knew Nina. I was up against her once for Seafair Princess at the Seattle Summer Festival. I wasn't going to lose to her again.
Well, what changed your mind about marrying Jack?
Well, after he left to come back to Boston, I realized I missed him.
I know Nina, too. She's a wonderful lady. And she'd want Jack to be happy.
Mr. McEnroe? You're John Doe.
That's me, John McEnroe.
No. You lived on our psych ward. You spent months searching for your identity.
You know, I had a linesman like you at the Open. Never gave me a break. Every shot was out. Wake up, loser. You must be blind. That ball was in by a mile. Those my x-rays?
Yes, sir.
Good. Tatum, you know, and Jack Mack and Fair and Ryan are waiting in the car.
Mr. McEnroe, Dr. Arslander's a great big fan of yours. I wonder if you mind if I introduce you.
Not at all. Let's hop the net, huh?
So, think you'll make it to Wimbledon this year?
I'll be there. Because, you know, there are some people that like John McEnroe, others...
Having isolated the pulmonary vessels, I'll proceed to put a ligature around the artery. Snap and tie. What kind of a handoff was that? Again, snap and tie. Ehrlich, retract the upper and lower lobes. Wade, help him. Be sure not to disturb the abscess.
Need more light here, please?
What, are you asking her to dance? Leave Emily Post in the scrub room.
It's good.
Hot as Hades in here. Check the air conditioning. Clamp.
Lobes are retracted.
Give me more exposure so I can get a clamp on the distal artery.
I don't want to rupture the abscess.
I'm aware of that, knothead. There's the artery. All right. I'm having a little trouble. The ligature.
Dr. Craig, I can reach the artery from this angle.
I can see the artery. I know how this is done. So simple. I can't do it. You two will have to finish the operation.
Where's Ehrlich?
He's staying with Mr. Lucas during post-op.
Probably having more laughs than we are.
This is supposed to be a happy occasion.
This blowout's had a blowout.
Well, that's because you people have no sense of celebration.
Jack, I never bought you a wedding present.
Oh, hey, that's okay.
No, I want to find something that brings your family together. Have a good marriage, Boomer.
Thanks.
Excuse me. I would like for all of us to take a moment, raise our glasses, and wish the Morrisons well. Perhaps the poet Rainer Maria Rilke put it best when he said, "A good marriage is one in which each appoints the other guardian of his solitude."
What did Rainer Maria Rilke know?
Mark, what the hell happened? You said you could handle this operation.
My hand cracked.
Yes, I heard that. What I want to know is why would you put your ego before this patient's life?
Mr. Lucas was never in any danger. If I didn't think I was ready to perform this operation, I would never have given my word.
You're rushing yourself, Mark. You can't go on operating.
Then what do I do?
Run your department, teach.
Well, what do you think I've been doing these past weeks since the accident? I'm not at this hospital to become a regular at the Tuesday afternoon lecture series. I'm more vital than that.
Of course you are.
I instruct by doing. And if you weren't so busy solving everybody's problems, you'd remember what it was like to be a doctor.
Mark, we've known each other since internship, and I'm aware of what you can be giving up. And I wouldn't ask you if I didn't think the time was right.
I used to be a whiz at valve replacements, bypass grafts, microvascular reconstructions. I could roll a quarter down my fingers. Now I can barely tie my shoes.
Mark, no one doubts your contribution to St. Eligius, but for the time being, give yourself a rest.
I'm making some rain cool off. Can I give you a lift?
No, my son's coming to pick me up.
Excellent call, Mr. Eberbach.
Every July, I watch new residents breaking their backs trying to become good doctors, but there are always one or two like you who decide they want things their own way.
Not like that.
Yes, you are, and you're very good at it, too. But let me tell you something. Someday your slick reputation is going to hit the wards and eventually get around to Dr. Westfall, who'll come see me because he trusts my judgment. And that's when payback begins, Dr. Griffin.
When I was 7 years old, my mother developed rheumatoid arthritis. And I remember at the hospital hanging on the steel bed rail, watching her lying there, all twisted like a pretzel. And all I kept wondering was, why don't you fight, Mom? And after she died, I just decided that there must come a time in everybody's life when you have to give up. Surrender. But standing beside Mrs. Hovick's bed was no easier than standing beside my mother's. You were right. We gotta go out kicking and screaming.
That's me.
Look, Nurse Rosenthal, you and I, we got off on the wrong foot. And, can we start again? It'd be a nice way to end the day.
See you tomorrow, Dr. Griffin.
How's he doing?
Oh. He, lost 400 cc's of blood, but vitals are stable. You were great in surgery today. I mean, considering his hand and all, today was just a glitch.
Check the hematocrit in another hour.
Okay. Sir, I want you to know the opportunity to learn from you. You're the reason I turned down surgical residency at Boston General.
Well, we all have to live with our mistakes, Erler. 400 cc's of blood is inexcusable. You and Wade should know by now. Control of hemostasis is essential. Maybe the next time you operate, you'll remember to tug a little harder on those sutures.
Well, DA, of all the DRs at St. E, you are the RX. I mean, here you are, taking time out after a busy day. And with liver cancer, you don't have many days left, busy or otherwise.
Your turn.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Dr. Weiss is nice, but he has to be, you know. To him, I'm a patient, but to you, I'm a friend. Not just another case study of someone who's lost his identity.
You're a pip short.
So's Gladys Knight.
The dice. They're showing 7 pips. You only move 6.
Oh. Hey, let's find ourselves a court, huh? Concrete, grass, clay, doesn't matter. McEnroe. Aggressive, self-confident, rich, rich, rich. He sees a shot, he takes it. Doesn't have a shot, he takes it. Comes out a winner every time.
You're not McEnroe. Come on now, let's stop this charade.
Oh, charades. I'll go first. Ready?
No, John. It's time to call a spade a spade.
Cards. How about casino? I'll ask the nurse for a deck.
You've got to stop playing the game of life.
Life. I've played that game, the Milton Bradley. I mean, you can butcher with your college if you want a lot of knowledge, or you can start up your own business if you think you're going far. I want to be a star. So is this back to being John Doe number 6 again? When Lucinda and Ramsey came for me, I wanted to make believe I was part of their family. It was fun being Thomas Farrar, corporate genius. But that's not who I am. I'm not Mary Richards or William Shakespeare or Dr. Jonas Wisner.
John, we all spend our days trying to find out who we are. It's very much like a game, based on percentages, requiring strategies, persistence, and even some luck. Now it's your turn. You can be whoever you are, but you can't be somebody else.
You know, it's like I've never left this place. It's all A-okay. I'm home.
For now.
No, I'm home board, backgammon. I win. Pay up.
So nice of going to give us that party. Kids loved it. Your friends really care about you. Dr. Westfall.
Oh, he's been good to me. Especially when
Nina died?
No.
Jack, even though I changed my mind about marrying you, I still haven't overcome my fears of filling Nina's void. Just being in this room makes...
We'll move.
No.
Yeah.
No. A new address won't take away my doubts.
I've lived with Nina for a long time. I lived without her for just as long. I didn't marry you because I want you to fill some job description. Expecting you to dress the way she did, or even laugh the way she did, or make lasagna the way she did.
No, wait. Nina and I cooked together for the church's potluck suppers. Nina made lousy lasagna.
No.
What about if I teach you how to play tennis this weekend?
I'll never get to sleep on that couch.
Well, don't get too comfortable here.
Can't I just stay for a little while?
Come on, with your sneakers.
Jack,
Huh?
I was thinking about school. Can you walk me the first day?
Every day. If you want.
Good.
Caitlin, gee.
I'm sorry. I'm living alone with Mom and Chris. I just got used to walking in.
I heard what happened.
Just because he lost his temper and punched a picture, his career's over.
You should have seen Craig's face in the OR the moment he realized he couldn't finish the operation.
I was talking about you and Robert. I know the feeling. My first girlfriend, Kathy Cobb, she jumped off the teeter-totter when I was up, and I hit the ground and caught myself right where it counts. Would it make you feel any better if I said I think Robert's a jerk?
Probably not. I don't need to find I'm stupid enough to stay married to a jerk for 11 years. But thanks, Wayne. I've been sitting here for 2 hours, afraid to go home, because my husband won't be there. Robert and I started dating when we were 17. I haven't been without him since.
The longest I was ever with someone was a year. It was Debbie Decleaver. One complete romp through the 4 seasons and then off to boot camp.
You never enlisted.
No, Debbie did, the Air Force.
Well, maybe I'll sleep here tonight. I'm beat. It's funny. Feels like Lewiston High Winter Carnival my senior year. The one time Robert and I broke up. I'm standing there in the hallway, alone, with no friends. Only difference is, Robert and I aren't getting back together this time. For 7 years, I've been putting so much into my own career.
Jackie.
Thought my marriage would last forever. That's how long I had it scheduled for.
Jackie, you're naked.
Huh? Oh. Oh.
Sit down. Be all right.